Welcome. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. My name is Nada St. Germain. Most of you know me. I'm really looking forward to having a discussion around some of the key points that Dwight shared with us on the Wisdom Builder call that he did on Friday. And I pipe in almost every Friday, and most of the time they're messages that I think have value to re-listen and have a discussion as our own team here in Canada. Or our team here. So really looking forward to having you join us tonight. So thank you so much. And thank you for your patience for the technical difficulties. So let me just give this a start.
We're giving young call right now. We bought a few acres over in the valley, and we are raising 10 awesome children. And we absolutely love Neolife, because Neolife has given us freedom that we never would have, really never would have had if we hadn't been introduced to the Neolife opportunity by Alan Blaine many years ago. And he introduced me because I was in a health crisis. I was only 26 years old, but my health was shot. And I couldn't even get out of bed in the morning. I couldn't focus on the things I need to focus on. I had really focused on earning money and having fun in my life. And I had neglected my health. And my health had caught up to me. And it was letting me know that you could be really old at 26. Age is not a number. It is what you do to take care of your body and take care of your mind. And I had not done the best job at that. And so I was in a desperate place. And I'm very thankful that Alan and Nicole had kind of gone through their own trials and loved us enough to come up to Oregon and share the Neolife vitamins and supplements. And I was skeptical. Oh my gosh, I was skeptical. Sat there with my arms crossed, but I was also desperate. And so I asked a lot of questions. Alan was awesome because he was new to it. And he said, hey, I don't have all the answers, but I know the scientists who do have all the answers. So let's go talk. Let's find out more about what we can do to help you. I know you just need to get on. Back then we called it the basic feel better. Now it's Pro Vitality. Get started. And so I got started on the products. And within 3-4 days, the boils on my legs started to go away. My energy levels started to come up. I started to sleep really good at night. That was a big thing because I could not sleep at night and I could not get out of bed during the day. And once I started sleeping good at night, waking up, having natural energy, people around me saw a difference. They saw the bags under my eyes disappear. They saw my energy levels going up. They said, hey, are you taking those supplements Alan's talking about? And I said, yes, they work. They work awesome. But I wanted to know more. So I actually flew down to Neolife headquarters and bombed the scientific advisory board and got to meet Dr. Arthur first. Amazingly humble man whose priority in life was creating the world's best product to reverse aging and disease, and that he was a lot more outspoken about the benefits and the ability Neolife had than we can currently say nowadays. They've gotten where they, we have to kind of guard the way we talk about the power of these supplements. But Arthur first understood the science better than any human on the planet. And I'm so thankful that we have John Miller, who was able to be part of his team for many years. And John Miller is just a walking thesaurus of information when it comes to anything health and nutrition. And same with the whole scientific advisory board. But what I want to talk about today was priorities, because there are different ways we could do things in our life, and they yield massively different results. And I think delayed gratification, Dave Ramsey says, is what separates adults from children. As a child, we think now. We want to have it right now. And the long-term effect of that is negative typically. If we could delay gratification and prioritize our time to do the things that build a long-lasting legacy, things that build optimal health, build optimal financial security. I know 2 people this week that I heard have lost their jobs, thought they had solid jobs, knew the owners, everything was going good. Companies kind of got into some interesting situations, and they both got noticed that the company's cut cost and they're gone. And it's heartbreaking to me because I hear this a lot as you meet people and you travel and you get to know people, that job security isn't quite as secure as we think it is most of the time. And I just want you to know that I constantly am thinking back of like Jerry Brassfield. I was with him at the winery and we were talking, And here's a guy who's impacted so many lives. And yet he was at a point, just like every one of us, where he had a crossroads. He was broke. He quit his job at the furniture store. He was hoping to continue to make ends meet, but he wasn't doing a good job of it. He was trying this thing called network marketing, and it was working pretty good for him. So good that he quit his job at the furniture store, but then he found out that's where all his leads were coming from. And he was at the point where he said he had a flat tire in his car. He didn't have the money to fix the flat tire. He is getting some really stinking thinking going on in his head where he was really negative. And I was thinking about it. I'm picturing Jerry Brassfield. Here's the guy who's, owns the Brassfield Estate Winery, owns all kinds of stuff. And he's just been such a blessing in so many lives. Like in my life, he's changed my life just from the advice he's given me, the counsel he's given, the opportunity with Neolife that he's given. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Jerry Brassfield's the owner of Neolife, and just an amazing man. And yet he was at this crossroads. Here's a guy who's done so much with his life, and he was at the point where he almost walked away from network marketing. And I just can't imagine the Jerry Brassfield that walked away from network marketing, who's sitting in a chair somewhere broke, saying, "Oh, I tried that network marketing stuff. It don't work." Like, that could be Jerry Brassfield. But no, he got up. He started putting Zig Ziglar in his head. He started getting back into the Word and reading the Bible. He started putting positive thoughts in his head. And he goes, I need to change my trajectory. I need to change my worldview. And he did. He put air in that tire. He pulled his pants up and he got back to work and he built a network marketing company and then later ended up building Neolife. And I look at the impact that each one of you guys on this call can have by getting our mindsets right, shifting from what can I make an hour to what can I build in this Neolife opportunity? How much can I create value-wise in this Neolife opportunity? You are CEO of your life. We look at these CEOs, we're like, they're grossly overpaid. They are, but they get their life to get there. And I wouldn't want to do what they do to get there. Yet I could be CEO of my life, Inc., and I get to create value. And I get to get up every day and share this opportunity with people, share the supplements that change lives, that change my life, and share the financial opportunity that changed my life to where I have the freedom to really operate from anywhere I want in the world, which is mind-blowing to me. And I was talking to my wife the other day. I said, can you believe we used to live on $25,000 to $30,000 a year, raising all our kiddos? We didn't have 10 at the time, thank goodness. We were only feeding like four to five of them at the time. But feeding the kids and trying to keep things afloat. And with the Neolife opportunity, we don't really worry about bills. We don't really worry about the next paycheck. Thankfully, we have income coming in that is residual, and it's continuing to come in every month like clockwork, and it's growing. And it's because we're impacting lives. It's because we're loving on people. We're changing the trajectory of other people's lives. And I know people in my organization now, or our organization, that are making 10,000 plus a month, and they're doing it with time freedom that you don't get in a normal job. You don't get that time freedom. In fact, I was talking to a guy the other day, and he says, I get paid pretty well at my job, but I only get 2 weeks off a year. And I was thinking to myself, that sounds a lot like a prison sentence. 2 weeks off a year. He has to ask permission to go to his kids' games if it's on a weekday. And a lot of times he gets a no. And that's heartbreaking to me, because you have right now in your hands the opportunity to create financial security and freedom. And you have the opportunity to help others create that freedom. But it comes back to priorities. It comes back to choices. I remember when I was 16, I wanted a Corvette. Boy, did I want a Corvette. I told my brother, Chad, I'm going to buy a Corvette. And he goes, do it. You can afford it. I go, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, you just can't hang out with your friends. You can't buy a house when you turn 20. You can't do all these other things because you made a decision to buy a Corvette. You have to pay the insurance and you have to make the payment. And so I look at it, how many things have we made decisions to do it? Thankfully, I didn't buy the Corvette. That would have wrecked my financial future for the next 10 years. And I'm so thankful I didn't go down that road, because of the fact that if we invest in our businesses, if we invest our time, that return exponentially down the road, you could buy Corvettes all you want. I don't even want one now. That's the funny part. But like, you could buy anything you want down the road if you're disciplined and continue to focus on building your business and loving others, and continue to have integrity in the way you do your life, delay that gratification and invest in people. Because if you really want to build any kind of legacy or opportunity, you're investing in people. That's what it comes down to. Even a brick and mortar business, it's not going to run well if you don't invest in people, because your people make your business. And it's the same thing with Neolife. Your people make your business, and it's the people you invest in that are going to change your life. You're going to change theirs too, but it's the weirdest symbiotic relationship I've ever seen. You know, if you become a realtor and you train a realtor, they end up leaving you and being your competition. But with Neolife, they don't leave and become your competition. They're always part of your family. And you guys get to link together, collaborate together, work together, and build a massive opportunity to change people's lives. And so, sorry, my wife doesn't know I'm on the call, so she keeps calling me for some reason. But I'll get back to her in a minute. That being said, I would just like to encourage each and every one of you to kind of look at your life, pull it out, put it on a piece of paper. That helps me a lot of times, no matter where we are in life. I've heard it said, Bruce Johnston always said, a life not evaluated is a life not worth living. And I think that's super important, because all of us have things in our life that are stealing our time, that are taking us away from our priorities. And low-hanging fruit is the phone. You know, somebody said, my kids spend so much time on the phone. And I said, you know what? It's not just us kids. It's us adults too. We pick it up and we're checking emails. Some of us are doing other things that are even less productive, like playing games, checking Instagram. You know, it's all not bad stuff, but it's a massive time waster. And I look at it and go, if we turn around and invest in people, share this product with more people, share this opportunity with more people, follow up with the people we've already talked to, instead of, you know, checking out the newest video on TikTok or whatever it is. Thankfully, I don't have these apps downloaded because they would destroy me. But I just look at them and I go, if we can look at our priority list and say, is this building the future I want? Or is it not? And I think those are important questions, because I was in my 30s when I finally started figuring out a little bit about this financial game and how it works in life. Because once you figure it out, it's a lot easier. Knowing the rules to the game make it easier to play the game. I don't care if it's basketball, soccer, football. If you know the rules to the game, you can play the game much better. And so learning the financial rules to the game, that's why I love the Neolife team and the Neolife family. As you go to these events, they don't only explain about nutrition, they explain how to win in the game of life, which I think is super important, and help us rewire our brain and get that working. And what I love about it is I feel like, man, I wish I would have done this when I was younger. I wish I would have had this information when I was younger. But this is the cool part. KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Do you want a heart attack? I recommend them. No, I'm joking. The founder of KFC didn't start until he was in his 60s. It's never too late. And that's what I love about the Neolife opportunity. I know people who are getting involved in their 80s and they're crushing it, because it's never too late in this opportunity to make up for a lot of lost time, to rewire our brains, to get us thinking in a totally different way. The whole thing, it comes down to coachability. Are we coachable? And I hope that each and every one of us on this call can say, honestly, we're coachable. We're open to hearing things in our life that are blind spots, things that we've held on to that may not be totally true, things that have held us back. Because I had a lot of those things in my life that were holding me back, limiting beliefs, I call them. And I'm not one of these prosperity doctrine guys. Don't get all nervous. I'm not going to go Pentecostal on you. But I do believe that a lot of us have limiting beliefs. We think this is going to be our life because this is what we know. And we don't think about a bigger picture. We don't think about what our life could look like if we had a extra 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand a month coming in. Because when that happens, it changes everything about your life. It gives you freedom, but it also gives you freedom to go clutter your life again. And I've been guilty of that, where you start having some financial freedom, so you go out and spend it on all kinds of stuff that clutter your life again. And you go, what am I doing? Like, I wanted freedom from financial stress, but I didn't want to be obligated to all these other things that I've gotten obligated to. And so I think every one of us, no matter where you are in life, whether you make $5 a month or $5,000 a month or $50,000 a month, it's good to step back and say, where am I spending my time? Is this the best use of my time? Is this blessing the people around me? Is it making their lives better? And what can I do to add more value to their life? And more, because like Zig Ziglar says, you can have everything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. And so I'm blown away by this Neo-Life opportunity that we have in our hands. The fact that you don't have to have a degree in anything to get started. In fact, you don't even have to have a high school diploma to get started in Neo-Life. You don't have to have family connections. You don't have to have the Stanford Rolodex of all these wealthy people that you need to have to help you build your business. You don't have to have a loan from the bank. You don't have to have a net worth of a certain amount like most franchises. You have to have a net worth of a certain amount in order to get in the game, which makes it really hard for the rest of us. And I love the fact that Neo-Life did not screen me. They did not check to see what my background was, because I probably wouldn't be qualified to build a Neo-Life business. And yet, they allowed me the opportunity to share this product and to build a business. Has created financial freedom like I have never dreamed. And I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so grateful for the supplements and the life-changing products that they sell, that I think if they stopped the compensation, I don't think I'd stop sharing the product, because the product worked so well. And I love it. Thank you, Jim. It is the true equal opportunity business. The only qualification is you have to care and share. And I love that, because that is the only qualification. And each and every one of you have empathy. You're human. You're created in God's image. If you have love and you have empathy, and if you have that, you have what it takes to build a life business. And so I just wanted to challenge you guys. It's the same challenge for me. Get alone, get some time, and think about, where am I spending time that is not productive? Where am I spending time that's not creating freedom in the future? And how can I become a better version of who I am? I heard somebody say the biggest fear I have is someday meeting the man I could have been, or the woman I could have been. And if you look in the mirror and you think about that, am I living up to the potential? God created me in his image. Am I living up to that potential? And that's not a dollar amount. That's not any kind of trackable. We as humans like to track everything. It comes back to, am I living the purpose in the life that God has given me right here on planet Earth? Am I living to the best of my ability? And it's a challenge for each and every one of us. Am I reaching out to the people? Am I loving the people? Am I perfecting the way I share this? Because we could share it in a way that pushes people away. We could share it in a way that's attracting people. If we're sharing it and people aren't responding, we need to step back and go, what am I doing wrong? And be coachable again. Ask your upline, ask your sideline, ask the person who's rejecting you. What am I doing that's not working? Because if we're coachable and we really want to share this product, we're going to learn to be the best we can at sharing it. And so if we're hitting a wall, if we're not getting through to people, we need to start asking questions, and we need to start figuring out how we could become better at this. Because if we're really on a mission to help people and change their lives, a lot of people say, oh, you don't want to be a salesperson. Well, if somebody feels like a salesperson, it's because they're not very good. Because sales, in my mind, it's service. It's solving problems. It's helping people find solutions. If you're selling because you're just preaching or pushing or pressuring, that is not sales. That's horrible. That's awkward. Nobody wants to be around you. They shut the mini blinds when you show up. You don't want that. You want to have it where you're solving problems. You're coming alongside people in their journey in life, and you're pointing them to solutions because you've been down this road too. And you're being real and you're being honest. And so I just go back to, how are we sharing the product? How are we loving on the people around us? And what is it that we need to do to grow our business? Do we need to get our own personal life on track? Do we need to get in shape physically? Nobody needs to be a supermodel to sell Neo-Life. Look at me. I'm no supermodel. But we do need to care about life. We do need to be passionate about life, and we need to lead others on that journey. So that's my encouragement. I don't want to go too long. I think we're getting close. I do want to open it up. Neo-Life we have gold in our hands, folks. We literally have gold. I've looked at hundreds of different companies, and not because I was out looking for them. They came to me. You got to do my product. You got to do my product. And every time it sounds cute and fuzzy and beautiful when you look on the outside and you look under the hood and you see what engine's running under there and you go, no, thank you. I want to run it. I want to run with the company that has integrity. I want to run with the company that will last. I don't know how many people I've talked to in the last year who were involved with the company that either the product let them down massively or the compensation plan disappeared. And I believe in longevity. I believe in building something that's going to last. If I'm going to put time into it, I want it to be here 20 years from now. You know, people come to me with get rich quick. I don't want it. I want something that's going to last. And that's something that Neolife Life has done. They've had integrity and they're built to last. They're going to be here for the long haul. And I love that. A debt-free company that has integrity, that's hard to beat. That's hard to find. And so I just feel like we have the vehicle. How are we driving the vehicle? Because we're all in the same vehicle. Neolife Life works. The product works. The opportunity works. But how are we driving the vehicle? We need to become better drivers. We need to learn to be more empathetic or be able to relate with people or whatever it is, or just be more bold to share the opportunity. People are desperate. They need it. And so I just want to encourage you to get out there and love on people and change lives, and then really look at what am I doing that's not creating that long-term value in my life and in others' lives. But if any questions, I'd love to hear. I'm more of an interactive talker. I don't like doing monologues, so this was hard. So please, anybody have any questions, feel free.
I think we can talk amongst ourselves now. There was I wrote a lot of notes, a lot of little tips, a lot of emotion in what Dwight had to share. And those of you that haven't met Dwight, beautiful person to meet. So those of you that are coming to the Income Summit will get a chance to meet this man and his family and probably most of his kids. Just a beautiful, beautiful family. And anyways, there's a few things that stuck out, but I want to know if there's anything in particular that helped you and maybe guided you in a different direction or a different light, because there's a lot of amazing little points that he shared when it comes to prioritizing, you know, being a better driver, being more bold. Okay, so anybody, just don't be afraid to share. I want this to be interactive when it comes to you building your businesses. When you unmuted, good girl. Thank you.
I did. I have something to say. Well, you may not want to hear it, but I have something to say. It's funny, you know, just yesterday I was talking about, I'm going to Pembroke to visit my 2 grandchildren. I'm going to be staying with my friend, at my former daughter-in-law's house, minding her dogs and children, not even at my son's house. So I just said, I'm going up at a time when I haven't got my 3 in 30 and I want it so bad. It makes my heart skip a beat when I don't think I'm going to be able to get it. And I thought, I'm going to Pembroke. And I just said, I don't know who I said it to. I think I must have said it to you, Lily, and Tina, because they're my old accountability partner from way back when. And way back when, good word, good name. Anyway, you think I just ate chocolate, that's all, honest. But I said I was going to be bold. I was going to go out every day in Pembroke and be bold. And then Dwight is saying, you need to be bold. And I thought, well, I know I'm not doing it right because I don't seem to be cultivating a big enough group of people. And I know I'm still in a learning mode and there's so many more things I want to learn. That's why I'm here on Tuesdays, if not, you know, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and all that, because I know that I need to learn more ways and better ways. And when I've worked with Heather at her booth, I've learned a lot by watching her. When I've been coached by Shelley, when we had our spring retreat and we went out in 2 by 2 to practice some of our new trying skills. And I got tips from her and I thought, yeah, there's so much out there that I just don't know yet that I'm experimenting with, and not necessarily experimenting word well, but it doesn't scare me as much anymore.
That's
So I
awesome.
just said I was going to be bold, and that's what we need to do, is we need to
Yeah.
get out there and be bold.
Absolutely.
Because I do believe in new life so much. I mean, my life is just great in that regard, my health regard. So why wouldn't I want to? And I do want to change everybody. I do want to help everybody. It kind of shocks me when somebody signs up under me and I'm with them. I'm still seeing them, the four most recent club members that I have. I check in with them because they're my newest people. And when I'm not seeing them get the results that I'm expecting them to get, I'm a little bit like, So I've literally convinced this one woman, she's upping her salmon oil
Good girl.
to 9 a day. She's at 6 now. We did the 3 and then we did the talk about increasing it to 6. And now I've done the talk about increasing it to 9. And she's trying. She's got a lot of pain. Pain in her knees, pain in her ankles, pain in her one arm. And so
And we know, and you know what? You're right, stepping up and not being afraid to tell them, look, you might need more. And we know that through experience that it's not going to hurt them. And that's where, sometimes, being in Just Vitality Pack, people expect miracles. Well, that's just a bridge the gap, fill the gap product, right? And I know we're not allowed to diagnose or, recommend or cure, but hey, more salmon oil, reduce inflammation, see what happens, right? Yeah, so that's a good call when it comes to, wanting your customers to see results. Now, another thing that I want to talk about when you say being bold, I had a really good talk with Rose, and she shared how she's been having some coaching. So, how Dwight said, are you coachable? If you're finding you're still stuck, if you're finding you're still needing help, the few people that I know that are getting coached by Ashley are creating amazing success. She's creating, I guess, a foundation or helping people get the right words and guiding them in a better direction so that they don't make the mistakes that they've been making in the past. And, because Rose talks to a lot of people and we're talking about that, like so many people. And can I send you some information? Can I send you some information? Can I send you some information? And we have no problem saying that, right? Can I send you some information? Even when we were doing our booths on the weekend, and most of the booths that I've done over the last, few months has been back to doing booths. I don't just say, hey, can I send you some information? Are you open to giving it a try? And you know what? We've been signing people up at the booths. Not everybody. Some people said, just send me the information. And some said, sure, I'll get started right now. But if I didn't ask them the question, I would have just sent them some information, right? So that's another area. Just don't be afraid to ask. Hey, are you willing to give the products a try? Try them for 90 days. What do you got to lose? Right? So that's something that I'm getting more comfortable saying. And I get excited when I say that. Do you want to give them a try? Give it a try for 90 days. Right? Heather, you have your hand up.
Yes, and I keep having to put my video off because my internet's so unstable tonight. But it was perfect that I heard you say that before you had me speak, because I wanted to just very quickly relate a conversation that I had today, and it has to about being bold. I mean, I was at the golf course, but I wasn't golfing. I was actually walking away from the clubhouse. And this man was walking towards the clubhouse. There were a whole bunch of men milling around, ready to tee up. And but he didn't seem in any hurry. And he was kind of limping, and I'm still limping with this pickleball injury. And we had actually gone past each other. And I stopped and I turned around and I said, hello, good morning. I said, we both seem to be limping here today. What's the issue? Is it your leg, or your knee, or your foot? And he said, oh yeah, it's my foot. Anyway, we went on a little bit. And I said, well, would you be interested in a natural approach that, some stuff that's really worked for me, and it's really great stuff for that osteoarthritis. He told me eventually, he said, yeah, it's getting pretty bad. And they say I might have to have knee surgery, but he says, I don't want that. And I said, no, who wants that? So anyway, but he doesn't have a cell number, couldn't remember any email. I don't know if he has email. He said, well, could you send it? He said, do you have a card? Well, I did actually in my car, but it was down the way. I said, oh, I might have, but hey, can I just take your information and then I'll send it to you. I'll send you something, right? And he said, he dug out of his wallet, his daughter's cell number. He said, you could send it to my daughter. And I said, perfect. So and I thought that's who I actually want to get to anyway, is his daughter, right? Because he's older than I am, so that you know how he's getting up there. So anyway, I haven't sent him anything yet, but I did send a text to his daughter introducing myself, saying, oh, you know, I ran into your dad today and blah, 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 a little bit. So she would know I was actually on the level. And she said, oh yeah, that'd be great. Anything to help my dad. Just, yeah, here's my email. So I've made a new contact, and I hadn't made a new contact for a few days. And I thought that's really cool, because I didn't just go and get my card, and I haven't sent him anything yet. I've introduced myself yet to his daughter.
That's awesome. That's a great story. And just by saying hi and being aware, right? Asking the question and being nice. And as Dwight said, right? You're caring, sharing is or caring is sharing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, and that was it, because I was limping too. We were obviously both limping, but not badly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I just, you know.
Story. That's a wonderful story. Wonderful story. Excellent.
But I won't just send the information. I've written down your phrase, because he actually said, I'm willing to try anything.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, let's get started.
Yeah, I'll try anything.
Yeah. Let's give it a try. Let's give it 90 days and we'll get you started. And then I'll send you some information. You can read up on it. It'll be on its way in a few days. And right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Way to go, Heather. Anybody else? Any other thoughts on any quotes or anything that Dwight, some of the words that he shared tonight? Anything at all that inspired you, that might help others here on the call? Remember this is recording, so this is helping other people on your teams that maybe aren't listening right now, that they're going to listen again later. And I think some of the tips so far are pretty powerful. Nobody?
I think that's the first time I've heard that little bit about Jerry Brassfield.
Yeah.
Really struggling in those early days. So
yeah,
I'm struggling right now too. So that really gave me heart. I mean, I'm not young, but I'm still, you know, I thought, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Even Jerry.
Yeah. They were
living
in poverty when, like, they had no money, you know, struggling to make ends meet, living in a, you know, Porterville, I think was the name of the town, where, you know, I think he borrowed money from his brother to buy a kit.
Yeah, he did.
Right?
He did. He borrowed money from his brother to buy the kit.
Yeah, because he didn't have
so
any.
He signed up, and he signed up Bob under him, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Borrow money and sign your brother up under you.
Right? Yeah, they had a vision, and he knew he was desperate. He got to find a way to do it, right? So yeah, we got to find a way to do it. And if you're still struggling, I would highly, highly recommend that reach out to Ash and even just have a couple of coaching sessions with her, one-on-one. She's got a link where you can schedule a time to have a Zoom meeting with her, and just share maybe some examples of maybe some situations where, you know, it didn't go the way you wanted to do. And then she'll say, what did you say? And then she'll tweak it, and she'll give you just amazing ways of redoing it, re-saying it, and help you in that direction. Because I know the few people that I know that are doing the coaching with Ash are really starting to grow and getting better and more comfortable and getting out of their kind of comfort zone, I guess you would say, getting more bold.
Well, I wanted to testify to that as well, because when I heard, I can see her face because she's in the Wisdom Builders. Blonde hair, husband's name is Jim.
Anyway. Kate McCauley.
Kate
McCauley.
I didn't realize that Kate was a director, and like Leonie, sort of And like Heather didn't maintain that just through no fault of their own, just not being up, however you want to look at it, not doing the business as well. And so when I heard that Kate, I thought that she became a director because Ashley was coaching her, but she resumed becoming a director. She resumed being a director because Ashley coached her. And so I said to my APs, you, Lily, and Tina, that I thought that we should do that. And Heather joined us. So there was the four of us. We were calling ourselves the Four Amigas and Ashley. But
Wonderful.
we just kind of got her at a very busy time in her life, a lot of preparation going on, getting ready for what's happening in less than 4 weeks now.
I know, it's
So
crazy.
we haven't had the coaching that we
Okay.
will get. I believe that she will not let us down, and I plan on not letting her down, because it is a two-way street. And I know that I have to do my part as well. I just can't expect her to magic bullet me and I'm going to be a fantastic
Yeah.
director. But
Yeah.
it's been a bit slow, right, Heather? And Yuli's there too, so she could probably, say that as well. That and even Ashley has apologized for missing so many of our weekly sessions. So it's going to happen. She's going to work with us too. We're going to be golden. So I'm just going to say to everybody who's listening, don't hesitate to reach out to her, because
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you. And
Yes, I do endorse that. When?
Yes, go ahead, Yuli.
No, I just said, yes, I do endorse that. She's been very helpful, even with me and another situation I'm working on, trying to reach out to someone, and she did tweak what I prepared the response, and she tweaked it, sent it back to me. So just waiting to get a reply.
Oh, good. Yeah, like I said, just sometimes tweaking, and sometimes just the way you change the style of the wording, or even the tone.
absolutely.
It can really make a difference.
It's true.
So, and if you're coachable, right? Most people are. If they're open to changing, if they think they know it all and I think they're doing everything right. I was the asker of questions, man. Oh my gosh, I used to drive him crazy, and I was always apologizing for calling. He'd say, "Don't ever apologize for calling. Every time you call, then I know you're building your Neolife business, right?" So yeah, so that was me. I had to really think back to all the mistakes I made, and the personal growth and the personal development, and how did I grow? Well, I asked questions, and I wanted to learn more, and I wanted to say things better. I wanted to be better, and it happened, but I had to work at it. This just didn't come completely naturally to me, guys. I remember I was over talking initially because I was so excited about Neolife and the business and the products. And I remember even Jill saying to me, "Would you cool it? You're turning people off." Right? I remember those days. So, and I've learned, and that's why with you guys, if you're coachable, don't be afraid to reach out to Ashley. And, when he talked about loving others, invest in people, that's what we do every single day. Talk to people, we care about people. Just trying to think some of the other. Picture where you want to be. So important to have that visualization. You have to really put in those positive thoughts. And when he said how Jerry was disappointed and was down when things weren't going well, and he said, "Got to get those thoughts out of my head," right? You got to get those thoughts out of your head and turn those thoughts around and focus on where you're going and how you're going to get there. And we have incredible things happening in all of our businesses and all of our teams. So we just got to keep that focus. Anybody else? Any other points? Loving, well, there was oh my gosh, a life not evaluated is not a life not living. I think he made that was a very powerful statement. we don't bring about. I'm just trying to think, Gary. I'm trying to read my handwriting. I was writing so fast while he was talking. Just trying to think. Anybody else? Anything? Any other quotes that kind of came to you that were inspiring? Oh, Heather.
Well, this isn't from Dwight, but it's kind of an inside story that I was on a call today with my investment advisor, and he was going through a whole bunch of stuff. Most of it is way over my head. I can't even take it in. But he was talking about the Canadian mortgage situation and people who have a lot of investments in different mortgage vehicles and all that stuff. He said there's a lot of mortgages that are coming due that when they took them out, they say they're new homeowners, they were about 3%. And when they renew, it's going to be at 5.5 to 6%. That's double. And we have the statistics that say a huge percentage of people in North America, US and Canada, would not be able to sustain a $500 unexpected expense. And that is going to, we be ready for that. We need to be sort of ahead of the curve, not scaremongering. Fear mongering. I don't believe in that, but we need to be sure that we reach out with a solution before people find themselves in dire straits, because then it's like, chasing ambulances or something. I don't like that scenario. But, we know that there are things that will happen that could really impact on people's financial situation. And it's not going to be pretty. Right. So, but we can be hopeful and we can share that hope. And I think it's really our job to share that hope. And just to make sure that we speak in a way that you can say, hey, you know what, how would it be if you had a buffer, if you had something that you knew would be there when you needed it, so I just thought I'd throw that out there. It was just a conversation I had.
That's a fabulous way to close the powerful message, Heather, because you hit it on the nail. Like an extra $500 a month could really have an impact on people. And we know it doesn't take much to get to that in your life. It really doesn't, especially with the new member program, right?
Oh yeah, the extra money. Is everybody seeing that?
I know.
My gosh, I'm seeing extra in my check from the additional members' orders that are giving me another 5%.
Yeah, I know. Even my son Luke, he's like, oh, yeah, like even my son Luke, he's like, oh. I said, yeah, that's not just the bonus. That's also the money on the members that you've signed up and the difference, between the,
in the price,
right? And they're like, people are
in the discount. Yeah.
The more members, the more income, right? And it's not just PV and BV, it's that little difference, right? In the sales. So yeah, I think it's exciting. I'm starting to see it now. It took a few months, right, to get to that because as people were signing up. But yeah, it's very, very exciting. Excellent. Well, again, I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. Appreciate you all. And if you have any guests coming on at 8 o'clock, I think it'll just be me because Joan is running a training for a couple of her new promoters tonight. So it'll be me. And if anybody does want to share their business testimonial at the end, just shoot me a text, okay? Or it'll just be me.
Can I just say something? Sorry. There was one thing I wanted to share. Sorry, I just saw it now. Matthew McConaughey, he says, live what you believe. And that is just a small thing, but he says, style is knowing who you are, what you want to say, and not giving a damn. So basically, basically answer the questions, then what you believe in, and then you have your own personal style, but live what you believe. And that's so powerful. Just, you got to believe in it and then you live it. Yeah. So there you go. He's got a bunch of this book. It's also good.
Oh, good. I'm happy you're enjoying it. Awesome.
Yeah, no, it's good. But he's an awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of good quotes too, and Dwight too, right? So many good quotes. All right.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you guys at 8 o'clock.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.